All right, welcome to AI Today. It is December 16th, 2025, and we have got some huge stories breaking. We're talking a Wall Street giant hiring its very first AI engineer. Yeah, you heard that right. And the next big leap for data centers, it might be straight into Earth's orbit. So let's get into it.
It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? Who is in the driver's seat as the future just keeps accelerating? Today, we're going to see how one of the world's biggest banks literally put a non-human on the payroll. We'll also see how AI is being used to run some really sophisticated disinformation campaigns, and why the future of AI infrastructure might not be on this planet at all.
So the big story this morning, honestly, it feels like it's pulled straight from a sci-fi novel. Goldman Sachs has officially hired its first AI software engineer. It's an AI named Devin. And listen, this isn't just some fancy new tool. We're talking about an autonomous employee that can write code, debug its own work, and build entire applications all by itself. It's wild.
And when you put it side by side with a human engineer, the contrast is just wow. A person needs a salary, right? Benefits, sleep, coffee breaks. Devin, on the other hand, works 24/7, never asks for a raise, and, according to Goldman's own tech chief, promises a productivity boost of 300 to 400%. This move is completely redefining what an employee can even be.
Now, this whole thing with Goldman isn't happening in a bubble. Look at this number, nearly 78,000. That's how many tech jobs have been displaced by AI just this year. Think about that for a second. That works out to 491 people impacted every single day. It's forcing a really profound conversation about the future of the workforce.
But okay, job displacement is only one side of the story. While some roles are being automated away, in other areas AI is stepping in to fill some critical gaps. And you can see this nowhere more clearly than in healthcare, which, as you know, is facing workforce shortages that are reaching crisis levels.
Let's talk about burnout for a second. At Mass General Brigham, they ran a pilot program using AI to handle the super tedious task of taking clinical notes. The result? Reported physician burnout plummeted by a massive 40% in just a few weeks. That's huge.
And this really highlights the time-saving side of things, too. A study out of Duke University found that AI tools cut down on the so-called pajama time. That's all the after-hours paperwork doctors do at home, by 30%. I mean, it is literally giving them their evenings back. And this impact is absolutely global. In India, Apollo Hospitals is using AI to automate documentation and scheduling, and they report freeing up somewhere between 2 to 3 hours per clinician every single day. That is time that can now be focused directly on patient care.
So, when you look at these examples all together, a really clear pattern starts to emerge, right? From automated notes to optimizing schedules, these pilot programs are showing tangible, measurable benefits. AI is proving it can seriously reduce the administrative burden on our healthcare professionals.
But as you can probably guess, not everyone is convinced. U.S. nursing unions are raising some serious alarms. They're concerned that if we start relying too much on AI for things like patient monitoring, we could sideline that essential human nursing judgment and ultimately compromise the quality of care.
Okay, so from the hospital, let's zoom way out to the geopolitical arena. Because here, AI isn't just a tool for efficiency, it's being wielded as a weapon of information.
A recent U.S. congressional report just exposed a really sophisticated Chinese disinformation campaign. It says that after a regional conflict, operators used AI to generate fake news headlines and images, just like this one, all with the goal of undermining confidence in India's military hardware.
So, in response to these kinds of threats, the U.S. is launching its own major AI initiative. It's been dubbed the Genesis Mission, and it sets some pretty aggressive deadlines for federal agencies to build out a national AI research platform, all to maintain a competitive edge.
And this whole race for AI supremacy isn't just happening between nations on Earth. The next frontier for the massive infrastructure needed to power AI, well, it's outer space. An Nvidia-backed startup called Starcloud just made history. They trained the first ever large language model in orbit using a powerful AI chip. Their whole argument is that space offers a solution to the enormous energy and water consumption that data centers have down here on the ground.
And here's why this could be a total game changer. Orbital data centers could theoretically run on near-limitless solar power and would require zero water for cooling. That is a radical shift from their incredibly resource-hungry counterparts here on Earth.
So, this breakneck pace of development, from new AI hires to new frontiers in space, really brings us to the central conflict of the AI era, this tension between racing forward and the urgent need for caution.
Even inside the top AI labs, there is growing turmoil. A group of whistleblowers from OpenAI recently published an open letter, and they're warning that this competitive race to build ever more powerful AI is causing companies to sideline critical safety work. They're calling for much stronger oversight.
And regulators are trying to respond. The European Union's landmark AI Act, which is set to come into full effect in 2026, actually classifies AI used in critical areas like healthcare as high risk. And that imposes some pretty strict legal guardrails on how they can be built and deployed.
This entire debate is happening against a backdrop of dramatically shrinking timelines. Public forecasts for the arrival of artificial general intelligence, or AGI, that's AI that can reason and learn like a human, have just been accelerating with each new breakthrough model. It's creating a powerful sense of urgency for everyone involved.
Which leaves us with the core question hanging over all of these stories, right? We are building this future with incredible speed and capability, but are we building the wisdom to manage what we create? That's our briefing for today. Join us tomorrow as we continue to track the rapid evolution of AI.